구 관계자는 오염수 방류로 인한 우려와 달리 축제장을 방문한 구민과 관광객들로 축제장에 크게 붐볐다고 설명했습니다.
Busan Myangji Market's Fish Festival, which opened following the release of wastewater from Fukushima, concluded successfully as more tourists than expected gathered at the event. According to Gangseok-gu officials, approximately 30,000 tourists visited the 21st Myangji Market Fish Festival, which took place from August 29th to the 31st. The official explained that there were concerns that the release of the wastewater would affect the festival. However, more residents and visitors gathered than anticipated for a successful event.
날씨입니다. 부산 지방 일요일까지 곳곳에 비가 내리겠습니다. 내일 아침 최저기온 24도, 낮 기온 28도로 예상됩니다. 부산의 현재 기온 23도입니다.
Tomorrow's morning temperatures are expected to average 24 degrees Celsius and afternoon highs to reach 28 degrees Celsius. Rain is expected until Sunday throughout the Busan region. Temperatures are currently averaging at 23 degrees Celsius. It's time to wrap up this hour's news. I'm Annie Munn.
홍정화였습니다.
Thank you for joining. You're listening to BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한대에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
Hello. Happy Friday or happy Friday, as they say around my neighborhood. It's the first day of September. How do you feel? Good? Well, I hope you feel good. Question, have you ever left a tip in Korea? Now, probably not. It's not really a thing here, but lately you might have noticed some tip jars next to cash registers at spots like, taxis, cafes, restaurants, even bagel shops. So this emerging tipping trend is actually a bit controversial. So tipping practices around the world, of course, they vary, but in Korea, giving a tip is purely out of one's personal gratitude for the service. So what do you think? Tips, are they good or are they bad? 네, 팁 받겠습니다.
don't care if Monday's blue. Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait. Sunday always comes too late. But Friday never hesitate. I don't care if Monday's black. Tuesday, Wednesday, hard to tell. Thursday, never looking back. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can hold your head. Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed. On Thursday, watch the walls instead. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait. Sunday always comes too late. But Friday never hesitate. Dressed up to the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise. See your shoes and your spirit rise. Throw out your frown and just smile at the sound. See as the street spinning round and round. Always take a big bite, it's such a gorgeous sight. To see you eat in the middle of the night. You can never get enough of this stuff. It's Friday, I'm in love. I don't care if Monday's blue. Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love.
Oh, yes. I love a bit of The Cure. Friday, I'm in love. To kick off Friday here at Inside Out Busan. You hear Annie banging around in the background there. Tell you why, though, if there's a good reason, because we have these they have these metal boards here, and we've got different signs for all the shows. And someone, me, 100% me, did not change the 4 p.m. duo out and put our one back. Whoopsimida. So thank you very much, Annie, for that. And welcome, thank you for all joining us here at Inside Out Busan. My name is Laura McCluckey. You are tuned in on 90.5 and 103.3 FM. Welcome to BEFM, 부산영어방송입니다. 반갑습니다. 6:13 on the clock. It is a Friday. It's the 1st of September. You know what we can start playing now? Earth, Wind and Fire. Do you remember? The summer of September. I think that's, Jang PD. I think that's his favourite music, Earth, Wind and Fire. He loves a bit of disco. If you've ever seen Jang PD dance, well, you are out of luck because it's terrible. But, I'm just kidding. But I do like a little bit of that song. Maybe we'll play it. Speaking of which, if you would like me to play you a song or do you a dance, also okay, get in touch. Let me know. Pound 9050 샵 9050 or Kakao Talk, which is free. Messages are 101. You can also find me over at the YouTube channel. 너튜브에서도 볼 수 있습니다. 여러분, 네, 우리는 라이브 스트리밍 네, 보이는 방송. So if you want to get on that, get into BEFM or 부산영어방송's YouTube channel. You'll see me and Minsu's face over there. But Minsu's not here with us in the studio, as you well know. He is on vacation. So hopefully he arrived at his destination, ate all the tacos, and promptly fell asleep and took a nice big nap. So Minsu, if you're listening, stop listening, go and enjoy your holiday. What are you doing? Anyway. Anywho, 6:15 on the clock. Now, at the top of the show, where's my script? At the top of the show, I was talking about tipping culture. Do you tip? T-I-P, tipping. I remember when I first moved to Korea, I was in Suwon. 제가 처음에 와서 수원에서 살았었습니다. So I lived in Suwon and I went out with a few friends and I'd been in the country for about a month, no more than a month. And we went out and we went to a restaurant. It was 고기집. It was a meat restaurant. Anyway, I left 5,000원, 5,000 won on the table as a tip. And then we walked away. We were going to go to Ita or Samcha, I don't know. And the woman ran down the street. No, it was a man. The man ran down the street chasing me to give me back this 5,000원. And I was so shocked. I was scared at first. I was like, why? What did I do? I thought I made a mistake and he was coming to take me back and get me arrested or something. But no, he chased me down the street and gave me 5,000 won back. Why does Korea not have tipping? Well, among the biggest complaints for stores that ask for tips is that South Korean law states business owners should notify the customers of the full price of products, including value-added tax, which is 부가가치세. So, 부가가치세. So, as such, it is illegal to request things like service charges in addition to the prices that appear on the menu. However, a customer voluntarily paying a tip due to being content with the service is not illegal. So in the States, I think they automatically add a tip in a lot of places. In Scotland, as far as I remember, I mean, it was always voluntary, but it's kind of customary. So you wouldn't go to a restaurant and not tip. I worked in the service industry since I was about 13 years old. And if somebody didn't tip, it's like, oh, how dare you? Or the worst is when they tip you like 20 pence, which is really, really low. It's like 50won. And so that's just like really insulting, right? But anyway, whether it's like in the US, whether it's in the UK, or a traditionally non-tipping culture like South Korea, so many consumers say they're growing tired of being pressured to pay extra on top of the money they paid for the service. And a lot of the time, the money that they pay on top of the service is, the money that they pay for the service is quite expensive already. For example, a massage. I always tip the massage therapist, always. But I already pay a lot of money for a massage, right? And that's surely included in the fee. I don't know. I always tip, but I don't know. I think it's already so expensive. Why do I need to give more? And you feel obliged to give more in certain places. So especially like places where you don't really get service, if someone's been really rude. And that's what I love about Korea, actually. Servers don't need to make tips, so they can be as rude as they want. and everybody's fine. Just walking up and down, doing your thing, press the bell, bing bong. And it's just, an interaction. It's a transactional relationship. And you don't have anyone going, ne. But usually Koreans are very sweet and kind. Anyway, if you saw the tip jar sitting next to a cash desk or on a payment desk area, what would you do? Would you tip or would you not tip? To tip or not to tip, that is the question. Pound 9050, 샵 9050, or Kakao Talk. You can get in touch with me. Tell me what you think. Tell me about your tipping experiences. Maybe you went abroad somewhere. Maybe you have a strange story to tell. Maybe you would like to get tips. Maybe you work in an industry that needs more money. And tipping would really, really help you. I think everyone would say, yes, I need more money. But you know what I mean? What do you think? Get in touch. And we've got lots coming up for you today. First up, of course, it's News Bites. That's right. Annie's been waiting patiently while I go blah, blah, blah. Hi, Annie.
Hi, I feel like YouTube is exposing my awkwardness. it's just embedded in my bones, and I just sit here kind of
He's like,
awkwardly.
hello.
I'm here.
Hello. Yeah, that's all right. We're all awkward on the outside. It's okay. Who cares?
I have a tipping story.
You do? Tell us.
Well, I worked in the service industry as well, especially here. I worked in Gwangan and Haeundae,
Ah, yes.
where there were a lot of foreigners. So that was back in 2013? And we did get tips. We had a tip jar, but I found that it was mostly the foreigners that tipped.
Right.
And we worked to get the tips.
Of course.
We were so nice. I remembered people's orders and their drinks. I remembered all their names.
Like the regulars that would come back
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Play a round of darts and you get tips. It was great. But I remember one time a famous Korean celebrity, I believe it was two people actually, it was an actor and a comedian. They came in and I was like, ooh, okay, I'll be really nice. But I also won't like fangirl out. I don't think I was a big fan, to be honest.
I don't feel you don't give me fangirl vibes.
No, I'm very like chill about
You're
everything.
like, 알았어, cool.
Yeah, so, but I was a nicer. I got their food out in time, everything. And I just remember being so disappointed that they didn't tip. Because in my brain, I didn't process that it's not part of the Korean society
Yeah.
or the culture. But it was just like my Western brain being like, these people make a ton of money. They should be tipping. I was so nice.
How dare they?
But in hindsight, I was just,
Yeah.
acting out of line.
Well, I mean, no, because
out of line?
you just kind of get into the habit of expecting something because it happens so often,
Yeah.
and then 갑자기 when it doesn't, you're like, oh, that's right.
And honestly, during that time, they were pretty 짭짤하다.
Well, tell me the names later, and I'll make sure to never watch anything. Anyway, let's get into our news bites for today. What do you have?
Right. So first, a bit of unfortunate news. At 1:40 this afternoon, a fire broke out at a bathhouse or 목욕탕 in 동구 좌천동.
Yeah.
So firefighters were able to put out the majority of the fire, the initial fire, with no one injured or killed, very thankfully, because the bathhouse was closed today. However, there was a sudden blast that came from inside the building, injuring the firefighters who were working to put out the remaining smaller fires, as well as public officials and the citizens who had come out to the scene. It was reported that 17, I believe it's currently over 20,
Wow.
individuals were injured from the debris that shot out from this blast, including 2 who were seriously injured. I believe they had some serious burns on their skin. Amongst the injured was also Donggu District Head Kim Jin-hong, who is receiving treatment at a hospital.
I mean, this is really, really sad, but thankfully no one was fatally injured.
Exactly, yes.
Did they know what caused the fire and the explosion?
Well, as of 4 p.m., when I saw this news, police and fire authorities were working to put out the remaining fire, the little bits, as the blast had caused the fire to actually spread again. So once they can deem that it's safe to approach and that the building won't fall over, officials will go in to investigate. But they do know that the fire began in the basement, the initial fire, and then for the explosion, a large hole was actually left on one side of the building. And the building and the surrounding neighborhood is quite an older neighborhood, which may have caused the explosion to be bigger.
Yeah.
And even houses a bit further away had windows broken from the vibrations.
Oh my goodness. So that was a big blast.
It was big.
Right. Well, I'm glad, like we said, nobody was, fatally injured. And hopefully they find out what happened and
Right.
can hopefully prevent anything from happening again. Let's move on to the next story. What's up next?
Right. So the Korean Military Academy announced yesterday that it will remove the bust of independence fighter Hong Bum-do from its grounds. This is after much debate over the Defense Ministry's push for this relocation, which mainly stemmed from his past record of collaborating with the Soviet Communist forces. Along with the relocation of Mr. Hong Bum-do's bust, the Academy also decided to relocate the busts of 5 other independence fighters to other sites within the Academy. Though it's not been decided exactly where, the locations will be decided in consideration of opinions from the Academy's graduates as well as their staff members.
Okay. So, I mean, they're still thinking about it.
Yeah, well, it's moving.
It's moving?
They're just thinking
Okay.
about where.
But where? Okay. So there was also talk about a submarine renaming in connection to this as well, wasn't there?
Right. So Prime Minister Han Duck-soo has mentioned the need to consider changing the name of a 1,800-ton submarine, and it's called Hongbomdo Ham. Ham here means subway, not subway, submarine.
Subway, I was
However-
like, yes, it does.
Yes, however, the Ministry of National Defense said there is currently nothing in review by the Navy, And the official explained that Prime Minister Han's comment was merely explaining that there is a need for it, but not necessarily that a review will take place, and that no order from the Prime Minister's office has officially been made.
Right.
The submarine in question was actually named back in February 2016, and the name was explained by the Navy at that time. They said, by naming the latest submarine 홍범도함, we can honor his patriotism and promote the people's sense of security.
Yeah, which is really important. But I guess this will be quite a controversial issue.
Right, but for now, nothing's changing.
Nothing's changing. Okay, well, let us move to our final piece of news. It is, of course, international, and it's a big one, the G20.
Yes, that's right. So the G20 summit is set to take place in India next weekend, with President Yoon Suk-yeol also announcing his attendance. And as a major gathering of global leaders, they'll basically gather to address economic disparities and climate change. And there's a theme of unity and collective action for this one. Mm-hmm. So a bit of controversy with Chinese President Xi Jinping likely to skip the summit, which could be interpreted as a bit of a shot to India.
Is it to India? Is it to, in general, the G20 countries? Or
Could be, there's
never
no
know.
definitive here.
Yeah.
A representative will be sent instead, though, so it's not completely absent. About 130,000 security officers will be deployed along with an anti-drone system to prevent any aerial threats.
Yeah, I mean, big
Well, these are,
event.
the biggest global leaders.
Yeah. So how else has India been preparing for this event?
Right. Well, the main reason I wanted to bring this story was because the preparations are in full swing.
You look so excited.
I'm
Your
quite
face changed
excited.
there.
I'm getting a little shy here. Authorities in India have made measures to keep the notoriously mischievous rhesus macaques,
Yeah.
monkeys,
I love those monkeys.
under control for the
Naughty
duration of the
monkeys.
summit. Yeah,
Yep.
apparently they're everywhere. So the New Delhi Municipal Council have begun placing life-size cutouts of angry langurs. These are bigger monkeys.
Yeah.
Around Delhi as a measure to dissuade these smaller monkeys from causing any sort of trouble.
But you can't. There's a term, monkey business.
Yes.
They've got to get, the G20 is going to go on, but the monkeys have their own business. Monkey business has
They
to
gotta
continue.
keep it under control.
Yeah.
So these monkeys often actually run across busy roads, and
Yeah.
India has huge roads, and they attack unsuspecting pedestrians as well as the residents. And the council has then deployed not just these pictures, these cutouts, but also 30 to 40 people who mock the langur sounds. So they're making monkey calls to create the impression that the animals are alive and moving. Do
Okay.
you see my excitement?
I do see your excitement.
Lastly, they have started providing food to the macaques in forested areas to basically ensure that they're not wandering outside of their boundaries.
See, now that makes huge sense. I think making them, fat and happy in the forest is going to
forest.
stop them from coming out into the, the city areas.
but also
to
for their safety, too.
get the trash. Of course. Monkey business.
Monkey business.
Monkey business. I don't know. I say I wish I lived in a country that needed to do this, but I don't think I do.
Please look up the photos.
I need to.
It's a langur, screeching, mouth wide open.
I love it.
It's very...
I'm going to have to look that up. Annie, thank you so much for all of the news for all this week as well. And we'll see you back on Monday.
Yes, have a good weekend,
Have a good
everyone.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let me play you one of my faves, MGMT's Electric Feel.
Shock me like an electric eel. electricity. You can feel it in your mind. Oh, you can do it all the time. Plug it in and change the world. You are my electric girl. Say, ooh, girl. Shock me like an electric kid. Say it, girl. Say my arms are electrified. Say, ooh, girl. Shock me like an electric kid. Say it, girl. Say my arms are electrified.
Oh, what do you think about that? A little bit of MGMT. I'm going to leave that running in the background while I deliver the weather and traffic to you. 6:31 on the clock. It is, of course, Friday. It's the 1st of September. Welcome to Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McCluckey. Nice to see you. Weather-wise, it's currently averaging 24 degrees Celsius here in beautiful Busan. Morning lows of 24. Afternoon highs of 28 tomorrow. Now, this weekend, there will be occasional rain. I looked at my phone and it said 90% chance of rain tomorrow. That's not occasional. That's like certain. Anyway. And in the mornings, it will be cool enough to even make you think that autumn has arrived. So get out and smell that fresh air. 네, 이번 주말은 가끔 비가 오고 아침은 가을이 찾아왔다고 생각될 정도로 선선하겠습니다. 좋지. 그리고 traffic on Hwangnyeongdaero from 49 Hogwangjang going to the Daenam underpass. There's some congestion. Also congestion on Chungnyardaero from Minam Junction going towards Naesong Junction. Slow-moving traffic on Yeonsuro from Mangmi Junction going towards Suyong Junction. And finally, lastly, on Jasongro from Pomil Junction going towards Munhyun Junction, there's slow-moving traffic over there as well. So everybody drive safe. Minsu's not here to cue me up to say, drive safe, so I have to do it for myself. It's so sad. However, today, because Steve's in the studio, we're going to be doing the 5분 상식 with Steve, but I've lost my other eyes. I've got my script. Steve, are you ready? It's time for the IOB 5분 상식. Yes, it's time for the IOB 5분 상식, getting you in the know of some of the most useful, trending and need-to-know words and expressions out there. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠. So nowadays, it's a season when different viruses like the flu are very common. 그래서 주사 맞을 때 왼판 versus 오른판. 왼팔 versus 오른팔. Left arm or right arm. 어느 쪽이 더 효과가 좋을까요? Let's find out.
Haha, welcome Laura 환자분. You've been having a hard time because of the cold, right? You need to get a shot now to feel better soon. I'll give you the shot in your right arm.
Oh, doctor. Why do you sound like that? Do I really have to get a shot? Can I just take some medicine?
아이고, taking medicine could work. But if you don't get the shot right now, your symptoms might worsen and you'll feel even more pain.
Oh, no. I really don't want to get a shot, doctor. But if that's the case, please make it not hurt.
Okay. I'll do my best to make it as painless as possible. It might sting a little.
Wait. now that I think about it. Would it be better to get the shot in my left arm or in my right arm?
아이고, where did you get the shot last time? I'll give a shot to the same arm as last time.
Oh, no. I haven't even lifted my arm since the last shot you gave me. I'll get the next shot in my other arm. I don't know. 오른팔, 왼팔, 오른팔, 왼팔, 오른팔, 왼팔.
Oh, I'll just decide. I'll place the shot on your right side.
Why did you decide? Doctor, I'll decide. It's my 팔. It's my 팔. 너무 무서워. Steve.
Yeah.
너무 이상한 doctor 아니에요? You're like, hey, Laura 환자분. You were all like smooth, cool guy doctor who wanted to date me, and then you were like, ah! What's wrong with you?
어쩔 수 없었네요. I was trying to pretend like sexy doctor.
I could hear that. Sexy doctor. Why, Steve? Why? Oh my goodness. We've got Cosnim just sending us a crying, laughing face. Okay, well, listen, right at the top, I couldn't even read that. Wenpan. What the heck is Wenpan? Anyway, as autumn arrives, the number of people receiving flu vaccinations increases due to dropping temperatures, right? So now COVID-19 vaccines have also become a preventative measure that requires a first and a second shot. However, for these injections, which side of the body, Steve, I'm nervous to ask you. Dr. Steve, which side of the body,
Okay.
right or left, is more effective?
Okay, Dr. Steve right here. 시작하겠습니다.
네.
Most patients, depending on how they feel on the day of receiving the injection, offer either their right arm or left arm to the nurse. However, from now on, we will need to change our thinking. According to a study published in the medical journal eBiomedicine, individuals who consistently receive injections in one arm showed a stronger immune response compared to those who alternated between arms.
Ah, interesting. So you mean the individuals who receive preventative vaccinations in their right arm, for example, should continue to receive them in the right arm because it shows a stronger immune response than those who get it, first in the right, second in the left, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what is the reason then for receiving injections in the same arm being more effective?
So recently, German researchers analyzed participants who received injections in their right or left arm alternately or consecutively in the same arm, 2 weeks apart. So the same arm vaccinations may work better because the cells that provide the immune response are in local lymph nodes.
Right, so you want to get the medicine straight to the same lymph nodes, and that'll provide the response.
맞습니다.
Well, there we go. We've got a lot of people texting in. Cosname saying Steve should audition for Grey's Anatomy. Really? Cosname? Really? Don't encourage that. 토끼님 saying, 주사는 나도 무서워. 아프지 마시고. 우리 모두 건강.
네.
맞아요.
건강.
맞습니다. But anyway, for injections, which side of the body, right or left, is more effective?
한쪽 팔에 주사를 계속 맞은 사람들은 양쪽 팔에 번갈아 주사를 맞은 사람들보다 면역 반응이 더 강하게 나타난다고 합니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다.
So good, Steve.
김대리 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주에 오신 참인 것 같네.
22번 홀려면
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here for Friday. It is, of course, the long-awaited live studio TGIF, Gina. And Minsu's not here. Woo! Whoops. Whoops입니다. It's ladies' night.
Yeah.
Ladies' night
We'll
tonight.
miss you, 민수.
맞아요. 그리워해요. 그리워. Let's finish that. Anyway, if you haven't joined us or before for this segment, or if you've just joined us, you are tuned in, first of all, to Inside Out Busan. This is our weekly TGIF live studio where we sing.
Yeah.
We sing, well, one of us sings exceptionally well, and the other one is me.
Don't say that.
And the other one is me. Gina, it's nice to see you. You look fabulous as always.
You too.
It's very much. I put lipstick on earlier.
Oh.
I was like, ooh, in the camera, and there's a bit of a delay, so I couldn't see what I was doing. Ajuma style.
You
You
look
know?
good now.
Thanks very much. It's because you're far away.
Oh.
It's like a Monet painting. You get closer,
like
you
a reaver
realize.
or something there.
Yeah, you get closer, you realize it's not so good. What have you been up to this week?
I've been kind of busy and I got some offer from 방송국.
Oh.
But I need to, do the audition first. But still, it's kind of
오, 좋다. 오, 축하드립니다. Oh, you can tell us more about that later. That's good. Well, guess what? I had COVID last week, which
Oh
you
yeah,
know
I heard that.
I was gone.
How are you feeling now?
Yeah, good. But my voice is still sexy.
Oh,
It's down here. It's like Steve's sexy doctor voice. So I wanted to blast out a song today, but I can't, just because it's a bit too sore, you know. So I'll do something quiet. Are you going to blast
I'm
today?
pretty sure you're gonna sound sexy.
Well, I mean, we'll see. But anyway, it sounds weird introducing myself. But let's do it anyway. So as the first act, the warm-up act, I am here, my friends, and I'm going to sing you a song that I used to sing in the 방송국, not 방송국, in 노래방. There we go.
Okay.
Because I love it so much. But I want to sing the original, but I won't.
Oh.
But let me give you a hint to who I'm going to sing. And listeners, if you're watching on YouTube, then you can tell me who you think I'm going to be. So, oh my goodness. Did you ever watch Stars in Your Eyes? Back in the day. And people would walk up the stairs and who was it? Who was the person? Anyway, they would walk up the stairs, they would go through the double doors, smoke would come out, and then they'd come back as like their favorite rock star or their favorite singer.
Oh, I think I've seen him before or something.
Really? Oh, yeah. It's a terrible show, but it's also fantastic. So, who do you think?
Oh, gosh.
What do you think?
Wait, is it a guy or
It is a guy.
Queen? I don't know.
Queen? No, it's not Queen. Do you know what? Look, that looks so terrible. Okay, I'm just going to sing, and then you can tell me if you know. Okay, here we go. Here's the reverb. Ready? It's time for Laura's song.
Get it.
She got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories when everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. If I stare too long, I'd probably break down and cry. Sweet child of mine. Oh, sweet child of mine. She got eyes like the bluest skies, as if they thought of rain. I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where as a child I'd hide and pray for the thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Oh, sweet child of mine. Oh, sweet love of mine. Sweet child of mine. Oh, sweet love of mine. now? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Oh, where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Yeah. Where do we go now? Now. Sweet child of mine. That was oh,
Just got a
listen.
reaper.
That was my Axl Rose.
Amazing. How did you like that? Wow.
Well, it only sounds decent in the Noribang where I can't hear it properly, so I apologize if that was really, really bad.
No.
But it's fun. That was fun. Yeah, it was good. I really wanted to sing the one where I could scream, but sadly, no.
It's good enough.
Voice is
Yeah.
not taking us
Sexy
there
enough.
today. It was sexy enough?
Yeah.
Thanks, Gina.
Yes.
Okay, well, speaking of sexy enough, you are way better and way sexier. I'm in sweatpants for one. Okay, so
I mean, it's raining,
well, exactly.
Yeah.
But you always come in here glamorous. You are not a quote professional singer, but you are pretty much a professional singer.
Well, am I?
Yeah, you definitely are. And so you've got offers from lots of different places. But I mean, this is such a career for you. It's your passion, and it's something that you're going to continue on with the future. So you always make it look so perfect.
Oh.
I'm so jealous.
Oh my.
I wish Minsu was here singing.
That's how girls talk.
Yeah, that's how girls talk. But tell us, what are you going to sing and why?
Well, today, the song called "Honey, There's the Door." Mm-hmm. So it kind of fits the ladies' night today. It's
I like it.
Honey, like if you don't like me, there's the door.
나가라.
나가라. Yeah, I like that attitude.
날 좋아하지 않으면 나가라.
Yeah, 나가라.
나가라.
Yeah.
네가 가라. Why? I like that. And who is this dedicated to? Ooh, that's what I want to know.
To the strong, independent women out there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say to my 전 남자친구.
Oh, no, I don't.
There's the
I don't
door.
care.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
누구야?
누구야? I don't remember.
I love it. Gina, I'm going to take my microphone down. I'm going to put the reverb up. Are you ready?
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Here's Gina's. Oh, let me take that down a minute. Here's Gina's version of Honey, There's a Door.
Honey, come on over here and sit down, real nice and close. Don't you worry, just wanna get a better look at you. Know that you didn't look good before. I'm gonna lay down my cards. Don't take this too hard, don't want normal, 'cause that's been done. I need that up and about, that classic Casanova kind of stuff. You better tell me that you love me, tell me that you need me, treat me like I'm everything you want and more. Tell me that I'm funny and sexy. If you don't, then honey, there's the door. You better tell me that I'm sparkle, that my eyes are diamonds. Tell me that remind you of Marilyn Monroe. Treat me like the start of your show. If you don't, well, honey, there's the door. that I got that off my chest. Don't hold it against me. I gotta give it to you straight, 'cause that's what I do best. Baby, tell me, where are you taking me next? Is it Greece or in Rome? A vacation at home, don't want normal, 'cause that's been done. I need that up and about, that classic Casanova kind of stuff. You better tell me that you love me, tell me that you need me, treat me like I'm everything you want and more. Tell me that I'm funny and sexy. If you don't, then honey, there's the door. You better tell me that I'm sparkle, that my eyes are diamonds. Tell me I remind you of Bridget Bardot. Treat me like the start of your show. If you don't want, honey, there's the door. You better tell me that you love me, tell me that you need me, treat me like I'm everything you want and more. Tell me that I'm funny and sexy. If you don't, then honey, there's the door. You better tell me that I'm sparkle, that my eyes are diamond. Tell me I remind you of Marilyn Monroe. Treat me like the start of your show. If you don't, honey, there's the door.
Honey, there's a door.
Oh, I love that. And you know what I loved even more, Gina? And there's very little I love more than your singing in my earphones. But I was doing this with my eyes closed and I turned around and you're also doing this. And I was like, what is this octopus dancing? What is this? Is this a lady dance? Is this what ladies dance like?
리듬 타고 있어.
I was like,
Yeah. I like the vibe of the song.
yeah, it's definitely for a rainy Friday evening. Little cocktail in hand, or maybe a coffee or a tea.
And good attitude.
Good attitude. Get out. Don't like it? There's the door.
Friday night, you know.
Oh, I like that a lot. And I love the way you sang that. Thank you so much. I love when you've got the jazz. I was remembering when we were out at the cinema centre.
Oh, yeah.
And you did the jazz version of Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's such a different version to that song, but it's so good and it so suits
so
you.
Chill. Oh, yeah. It fits too.
It fits the octopus. It fits the octopus. We had lots of hearts popping up during that, and our listeners always tune in for this segment. It's always lovely. And Gina, what's your plan for the weekend?
I'm gonna hang out with my BF.
Oh, BF?
Yeah.
That's nice. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay.
If you want to know more in details,
text us, #9050, 샵 9010.
Next week.
Next week, okay. I love it. She's keeping us in suspense, but we'll take it. I love to know the ins and outs of all our guests' lives. Gina, thank you so much, as always, for giving up your Friday to come and meet us and to entertain us with your beautiful voice. And we'll see you same time next week.
Yes!
Yay!
Bye, guys.
In a nice way, Gina. Honey, there's the door. 네, 천천히 행복하게 나가십니까? 네, 가세요. 네.
Okay.
All right. Guess what? It's time for us to say goodbye for the first half of the show. Don't go anywhere because I'll be back with you at 7 o'clock for the second part of Inside Out Busan. This is Ricky Martin, living the vida loca.
She's into superstitions, black cats and voodoo dolls. I feel a premonition, that girl's gonna make me fall. She's into new sensations, new kicks in the candlelight. She's got new addictions for every day and night. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain like a York City in a funky cheap hotel. She took my heart and she took my money. She must have slipped me a sleeping pill. She never drinks the water, makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. It should make you go insane. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. She's living la vida loca. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, but she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Come on! Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will.
Transforming our world. Navigating toward a better future. The great transformation begins right here in Busan through the 2030 Busan World Expo. Busan will set a new course toward a better tomorrow for the Earth and for humanity. So we need your support to start a new movement.
I support.
지지합니다.
I support. I support.
지지합니다.
I support.
Busan, the city where you can experience nature, technology, and people. The one and only 2030 Busan World Expo awaits you.
See you right here in Busan.
See you right here in Busan. This campaign is brought to you by BFM, 부산영어방송.
안녕하세요. 운동 유튜버 심으뜸입니다. 요즘 친환경에 필요한 게 뭔지 아세요? 바로 내 몸.
밖에선 한정거장 거리 정도는 걷기. 유산소 운동 효과에 탄소 배출 감소 효과까지. 안에선 안 쓰는 플러그 뽑기 스쿼트. 하체 근력 강화 효과에 기후변화 방지 효과까지.
어때요? 효과 확실하죠? 몸 좀 움직였을 뿐인데 건강도 아끼고 환경도 아끼고 친환경 피지컬 함께 시작해볼까요?
공익광고 협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me for the second half of Inside Out Busan. This is the quiet hour, so I'll take a deep breath, lower my voice. There we go. It's the relaxed hour, everybody. 7 o'clock on the dot. It's Friday. It's the 1st of September. And this is Inside Out Busan. Yeah. So, I hope you've been enjoying the first half of the show. We've got lots of messages coming in. Thank you so much for all of these. I'll read them very, very soon. We've got messages from N*me*name saying, Hi, Laura. How about if one gets shots not on the arms? You mean in the 엉덩이죠? We won't know Bon Jovi. Oh, sweet child of mine, you've got an amazing voice. Thank you so much. I said I was going to read them later. I'm just going to read them now. Cosneem texting in, great toned down version. Thanks, Cosneem. And Kabojagoneem texting in, I feel strong and independent. Good. I'm glad. As you should feel strong and independent because you are strong and independent. That goes for everybody. That goes for you and for you and for you. And we've got Cosneem saying, could I be so rude? Always to request a song. Joke by Say So Neon. They just announced a tour of Australia. Okay, I'll have a look for it while we're listening to On the Mic. Deal? Okay. It's time for On the Mic, which is, of course, where our reporters head out into the world and interview you, our fabulous citizens. So let's see who's on the mic this Friday.
네, 저는 오늘도 자신만의 하루를 멋지게 만들어가고 계신 시민 한 분을 만나보겠습니다.
예, 저는 장산 IC 주유소에서 근무하고 있는 김성민이라고 합니다.
네, 반갑습니다. 어떻게 이 주유소에서 근무하기를 시작하게 되셨는지 궁금해요.
저는 원래 창원이 집인데 창원에서 제가 집사람하고 이제 한식집 장사를 하는데 근데 부산에 어머니가 혼자 계시거든요. 어머니가 혼자 계시는데 다리가 관절이 안 좋으세요. 그래가지고 어머니 걱정이 돼가지고 집사람하고 이제 종업원이 2명이 있거든요. 그리고 이제 맡겨놓고 저는 부산하고 진해입니다. 창원 진해. 진해에서 왔다 갔다 제가 그렇게 했죠. 집사람이 반찬을 해주면 저는 이제 한 번씩 부산에 어머니 혼자 계시니까 또 몸도 안 좋으시니까 80세가 넘었으니까 그래 제가 이제 반찬을 가지고 왔다 갔다 이제 일을 하고 있다가 그리고 이제 부산에 있는 시간이 조금 늘어났어요. 일주일에 한 2, 3일 있다가 또 진해에 넘어가고. 그래 이제 부산에 이제 있기를 어머니하고 계속 이렇게 좀 무리하고 해가지고 제가 부산에서 대학까지 다 나왔거든요. 네. 부산에서. 그런데 이제 직장 때문에 진해 갔다가 거기 제2의 고향이 된 거죠. 그래 부산에 이제 너무 무리해서 한 금요일 토요일이나 어디 아르바이트나 한 2, 3일 정도 아르바이트나 했으면 좋겠다 싶어가지고 이 주유소가 금토일만 원하는 아르바이트가 있더라고요. 네. 그래서 제가 바로 전화를 해가지고 그날로 행기 1월 달부터 이제 계속 하고 있습니다.
네. 편찮으신 어머님 돌봐드릴 겸 부산에 자주 오시다가 주말 활용해서 일까지 하고 계신 거였네요. 와, 그럼 신기한 게 제가 사실 이 주유소를 굉장히 자주 왔었는데 항상 친절하게 맞이해 주셨고 저는 사장님이신 줄 알았어요. 그런데 공교롭게도 제가 그럼 금토일 중에 한 번 왔던 거네요. 항상.
그런데 지금 그게 문제가 뭐냐면 1월 달부터 6월 달까지는 금토일만 이제 했는데 7월 달부터는 이 사장님이 연산동에 주유소를 한 개 더 오픈을 하게 됐어요. 2호점을 오픈하면서 제가 또 일을 또 잘하고 하니까 저한테 좀 부탁을 하는 게 아니라 11월 달까지. 그래 이제 제가 금토일만 하기로 왔는데 사장님이 그쪽에 가시니까 그래서 매일마다 지금 한 달에 28일, 29일은 이제 여기서 지금 일을 하게 된 거예요.
제가 금토일만 왔던 게 아니고 오후에 늘 계셨었던 거군요.
11월 달까지는 계속 이제 하게 됐습니다.
네.
그런데 집사람이 이제 한 번은 혹시 부산에 딴 살림 차렸나 이렇게 농담을 하시더라고요. 예.
다른 사람 숨겨놨나. 너무 재밌는 말씀이네요. 요즘엔 셀프 주유소가 더 많아서 이렇게 직접 친절하게 기름 넣어주시는 분들 만날 때마다 저는 괜히 반갑더라고요. 또 너무 친절하셨었거든요. 이렇게 뵐 때마다 기분이 너무 좋았어서 참 감사하다는 말씀들 드리고 싶었어요. 네, 지금 약간 요새 좀 비가 자주 오고 있는데 비가 올 때 혹시 특별하게 생각나는 거 있으실까요?
비가 오면 생각나는 게 많죠. 비에 대한 노래, 비와 외로움이라든지, 창밖엔 옛날에 제가 미술을 전공을 했거든요. 그래, 그때 우리가 그림을 그리면서 그때 기억 85년도 고등학교 2학년 때 그댄 봄비를 무척 좋아하나요? 이런 그 음악이 아직도 지금도 일을 하면서 제가 음악을 들으면 옛날 그런 감성에 특히나 비가 오는 날 그런 감성에 제가 빠져들죠.
짧게 한 소절 불러주셨는데 너무 운치 있는데요.
노래를 즐겨 좋아하는 편입니다.
그렇구나.
잘하지는 못해도.
그래도
예.
음악은 원래 즐기는 거 아닙니까? 미술도 전공하셨었고 노래도 잘하시고 다재다능하신 분 아닌가요?
아닙니다. 그거는 뭐 제가 공부를 고등학교 때 우리 형하고 저하고 단 이형제인데 우리 형님 같은 경우는 공부를 너무 잘해가지고 뭐 서울에서 생활을 하다 했고 저는 이제 공부를 좀 못하다 보니까 저 어머니는 내를 대학을 보내야 되는데 공부는 안 되는 것 같고 그래 맨날 제가 만화를 막 그리고 이랬답니다. 어머니 내가 어릴 때부터 만화를 자는 미술을 시켜야 되겠다. 그래가지고 쟤를 이제 미술학원에 보내가지고 미술을 이제 접하게 돼가지고 대학을 가게 된 거죠.
혹시 라디오를 통해서 한마디 전하고픈 사람이 있을까요?
저희 집사람한테 한마디 하면 좋겠습니다. 집사람하고 만난 지가 이제 한 20수년 되는데 저희 어머님 잘 섬기고 자식 잘 키우고 그래도 없는 살림에 와가지고 참 고맙습니다.
아유 제가 막 먹고 끝이 찡해집니다. 아이고 아내분을 너무 사랑하시는 것 같아요.
뭐 지금은 이제 사랑 정이죠 정. 정이 이제 상당히 이제 많이 가죠. 만약에 집사람이 죽었다. 그랬을 때 저 산꼭대기에서 나를 찾는다면 밤에도 내가 갈 정도로 그런 마음은 있습니다.
진짜 둘도 없는.
집사람은 한 30대부터 계속 장사를 해가지고 손에도 이 관절이 안 좋고 또 나이도 얼마 됐지 고생을 상당히 많이 했거든요. 그런 거에 비해서 나는 너무 집사를 몰라주고 너무 몰라주고 내만 내 위주로만 살은 것 같아가지고 어느 정도 나도 나이가 50대 중반 넘어가니까 잘해줘야 되겠다 하는 생각이 듭니다.
방송을 통해서라도 좀 간지럽지만 사랑의 한마디 해주실까요?
자기야 사랑한다.
네 오늘 인터뷰 너무 감사하고요. 네.
예, 저도 저 라디오로 이제 종종 뭐 듣고 있지만은 지금 리포터님이 이제 말씀하신 방송을 내일부터 청취를 꼭 하도록 하겠습니다. 많은 청취 부탁드리겠습니다. 예.
고맙습니다.
Oh, that was so sweet. Oh, so nice. So nice. Well, thank you, of course, to our reporter Jisoo, who was doing the interview today, and of course to our interviewee Kim Seung-min Nim. He's in his mid-50s. He works at a gas station near Jangsan Station, and he and his wife run a Korean restaurant in Chine, Changwon. So on Fridays and Saturdays, he goes to Busan to see his mum, who lives alone, and he said he started a part-time job here in Busan. So the gas station owner, he got busier with another branch. So the boss was really impressed with Mr. Kim's dedication, enthusiasm, etc. So he requested him to work there every day. So he's there. He's there every afternoon. I love that. And he said during his younger years, he chose to major in art because he had a big passion for drawing cartoons. But now he's following a different path. And he said at the end, I loved it. 사랑합니다. Is it difficult for older Korean gentlemen to say things like 사랑합니다? Especially to the wife? I don't know. But anyway, he expressed gratitude to his wife for being with him since they were very young, caring for his mother and raising their children brilliantly. So he shared his desire to bring happiness to his wife in the days ahead, and he loves her very much. No. That was so sweet. Mr. Kim, thank you so much for your interview, and to Jisoo Nim as well, our reporter. Thank you very much. What a lovely interview, and what a lovely way to end the week for our On the Mic segments. We've got a lot of going-ons in the chat in YouTube. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Okay, let me see. Talking about... Do you know in Scotland, when you want to ask someone, what are you talking about? You can say, not everybody does, talking about. And it's like, what are you talking about? Talking about. You have to make it sound like a pirate. Welcome to Inside Out Busan, 7:10 on the clock. You're tuned in with Laura McCluckey. Minsu's not here. He's on vacation. So hi, Minsu. Hope you're having a nice time. We miss you. Some chat going on saying, I love Say So Neon. Say So Neon? 진짜로? Because Cosname asked for a song by 세손이형, but it's not in our system, Cosname. I'm really sorry about that. And then 가보자 고님 saying, I love 세손이형. They'll come to Busan for a rock festival in October. Yes, the Samnak in the Samnak Park, right? I already have tickets for that. I think it's a Saturday. I'm not sure. Anyway, yes. And then saying, you have good taste. I'd love to go to a festival in Busan one day. You're right, mate. 맞아요. That's true. We've got lots more coming up for you. Like I said, if you want to request a song, please do. Maybe Square by Yerin Park. I'll have a look and I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I have one of my favourites who I met in London way back in the day and sadly is no longer with us. This is Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. The late, great Amy Winehouse there, Back to Black. And that was the clean version, just in case, because I know it's a Friday night. Things can get a little rowdy, but I played the clean version. because I would have got in trouble if I played the not clean version. Welcome back to the show Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McLucky, 7:15 on the clock. Let me do a little thing. Excuse me. Thank you for your forgiveness. I do have an emergency broadcast for you. This is an emergency broadcast from BEFM. The Ministry of the Interior and Safety has issued this PSA as of 7:01 p.m. today, September 1st, 2023. A heavy rain warning has taken effect as of 7 p.m. today, September 1st, 2023, over Busan metropolitan city area. Keep checking your current area's weather via TV, radio and smartphone and inform the people around you of the news. Tell people around you not to drive through flooded roadways, underground roadways, bridges and to drive their vehicles slowly. Inform people around you not to approach areas where one may be swept away into the rapids or areas that may be flooded, such as brooks, riversides or streams, valleys or beaches or shores. Immediately evacuate to a safe location with those around you if you are in a dangerous area, such as regions that have been flooded or mountainous areas or valleys, or if you have been advised to evacuate. Do not approach dangerous areas such as construction zones, telephone or utility poles, underground spaces, embankments, retaining walls and fences and walls. In rural or farming areas, prepare in advance to prevent damages to the crops or facilities by repairing drains, tying down greenhouses, affixing support systems for orchards, and do not do any activities outside such as tasks related to farming. This was a message from the Ministry of the Interior and Safety. Please do be safe. I know that you get your phone messages as well telling you to be safe, but just because of the year we've had weather-wise, I think it's always really good to err on the side of caution. So I hope everyone stays safe this weekend and we have a nice and hopefully relatively dry weekend, although it is set to be pretty rainy. Speaking of which, I have the weather here. You ready? The mercury level, aka temperature, is averaging 24 degrees Celsius here in beautiful Busan this evening. Morning lows of 24 tomorrow morning, afternoon highs of 28. Now this weekend there will be occasional rain. Mornings will be cool enough to even believe that autumn has arrived. But don't be fooled because we know what this year has been like. 네, 이번 주말 가끔 비가 오고 아침은 가을이 찾아왔다고 생각될 정도로 선선하겠습니다. 그래서 여러분, 시원한 날씨가 진짜 즐기세요. 내일 아침 아니면 지금 나가셔서 들이마시고 내쉬고 좋다. 그렇게 할까? Okay, but I have to be here, so maybe I'll do it in 40 minutes. How's about that? 40 minutes later. All right, let me get to some messages. Cost name and 가보자고 name texting each other. Guess what? I have Square 2017 by 백예린. So I'm going to play that for you after our next segment because it's a Friday, which means it's time for the Open Studio. Oh yes, Friday means we get to bring people into our studio and badger them for information in a nice way. And today we have a very special guest with us who started working at a very young age, traveled to various countries, gained lots of special experiences, and is now living in Busan. Let's meet him. Good evening, Jeff.
Hello, thank you.
Hello,
It's nice to meet you.
to see you. Can you tell me, because this looks like a really kind of Scottish name slash maybe, I don't know, Dutch?
Or German.
German, Levenhagen. Is it Levenhagen or Levenhagen?
Well, we pronounce it Levenhagen, but I think it's supposed to be pronounced Levenhagen.
Levenhagen.
But yeah, my middle name is also Schneider, so that's also German. But then technically I'm a little bit more Irish than German.
Okay.
Because my sister did a background check on the family.
Oh, you did one of those family tree bloodline things.
I'm not sure what exactly she did. She maybe did the mouth swab or maybe just background check. But she said we were about 50-something% Irish and 40-something% German.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good mix.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a nice mix. I'm Scottish, so I love that whole Celtic part of you. But why don't we get back to the beginning? Please introduce yourself and your work. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us everything.
Well, my full name is Jeffrey Schneider Levenhagen, and I'm an English teacher in Busan right now. but I've taught in a few different parts of Korea. My first time coming to Korea was studying abroad in 2009 at Yonsei Dahakyo in Wonju. Yonsei has the two campuses, one in Seoul, one in Wonju.
Yeah. Is that the Underwood campus?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just guessing. I'm throwing out titles here. Okay.
Is that possibly the name of the campus?
Maybe. It's close to Incheon, right?
No.
No? Okay, well then don't even ask me anything. Don't trust anything I say. Okay, so that's a long time ago, 2009.
Yeah, actually, a lot of my friends back at my university in Wisconsin, they actually studied abroad in Scotland.
Oh.
Because my school had a good partnership with a school in Scotland and one in South Korea.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do something a little bit more unique.
Yeah.
I met some Koreans at my university because there was a good relationship between Yonsei and my school, UW Superior. And so I made some Korean friends at my university. I wanted to study abroad, and I wanted to do something more unique. I know American culture doesn't necessarily come just from Scotland, but there's a lot of American culture from different parts of Europe.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know much about like most of Asia, but especially South Korea.
Yeah.
And so I wanted more of a culture shock. And coming to Korea was a very good culture shock.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too much. Obviously, I came back. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I went back to the U.S. and finished my degree. And I wasn't really using my degree. I have a degree in exercise science.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I mean, I enjoyed it. I was going to school to be a gym teacher, if I had a teacher. But then if I did that, I would have to just do teaching gym. And so I changed it to exercise science just to have a major that's a little bit more broad.
Yeah. And that's, of course, can lead you into lots of different things. And especially now, I think these days with the emergence of different technologies, with globalization, with how small the world is now, you can really have so many like strange opportunities and wonderful opportunities that perhaps we didn't think about when we were in university. You know, and we're just like, oh, I could be a gym teacher. But now, what is it like? So many different. I mean, you could work for a gaming company, telling them how the body works so that they can make realistic, you know, games or whatever. You know,
or like a personal trainer, physical therapist, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, for a couple of those, I'd have to take some extra classes just to get certified in a few different areas.
So you arrived in 2009. You studied here as an exchange student. Then did you go back?
I went back to the U.S., finished college in 2011, and then I came back to Korea in 2012.
Right.
And I was in Yanji. So even in Korea, my Korean friends usually don't know Yanji. They know Yongin, and Yongin has Everland and a few other things.
Yeah.
And then Yanji is right next to that. Yongin has about 1 million people. Yanji has about 15,000.
Oh, okay.
So it's very small.
Oh, I love that. I love the village life. And you came in 2012, so they must have been like, 외국인.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And that's where I learned most of the Korean that I know now.
Right.
I'm not very good at Korean, but that's where I learned most of it because I had to learn more Korean in that small town.
So you've learned all the dialect from the grandmas and granddads?
Oh, and my students and co-teachers. But yeah, a lot of older people. I did have a lot of older friends around that area.
Yeah.
Which was nice. They knew all the good restaurants and bars, and they could drive me around.
See, that's the thing. You got to get those older friends, those older Korean friends. They know what's up. They know what's up. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. You're back. You came back in 2012. You moved down to Busan. Now, I heard that you've had so many different jobs from a very young age. You started working pretty young.
Yeah.
So tell me, what age did you start working and what have you experienced? What kind of things have you done since you started working?
Well, I started when I was 14.
Oh, same.
Okay, nice. And I was young enough where my parents had to sign off on some paperwork just to say that they're okay with me working.
Yeah.
And I was only able to work a certain number of hours just so, like, child labor laws weren't broken.
Yeah.
But I was just a caddy at a golf course.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't anything too strenuous.
Yeah.
And I was doing that because I just wanted to make some money, so I had spending money because I didn't really have an allowance. And I just wanted to be able to plot, like back then I wanted to buy something for the TV. It's like some kind of gaming console or something for the computer. But I didn't do that very long because I'm not really a big fan of golf.
You don't like walking much?
No, I
Jeff?
love walking and
Okay.
hiking. And I thought I was going to like it more,
Yeah.
but I wasn't that interested into it.
Yeah.
And then later on, I regretted it because there was actually a really good golfing scholarship. Or, sorry, caddy golf scholarship. My dad did that when he was younger.
Yeah.
And he had a full ride for school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's so interesting in the States how you can get into college, into university through all these different scholarships, like a caddy scholarship. I would never have thought that that was a thing. But I'm from Scotland, the home of golf. So, I mean, since I was really young, I played golf with my grandfather, with my uncle, and I had my own set of clubs when I was, I think, 4 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like something for me. I used to love it. I still love it, actually, but I don't do it anymore.
I think that's one reason why I did it, because I have so many family members that do it. My dad's aunt was a professional golfer. My grandpa was like semi-professional. My dad and his brothers, they all play in golfing tournaments.
Yeah.
On both sides of the family. And I wanted to get into it, but I just didn't like it that much.
Just wasn't your thing. But I want to make sure that we get through all of these questions because you've lived a really interesting life, a very remarkable life. And so in college, while you were still in college, you worked. And you were working at a group home with people who had disabilities. And in that job, you were a behavioural specialist for 5 years.
Yep.
Now, for anyone who's maybe unfamiliar with the role of a behavioural specialist, what is it? And, I mean, just tell me about that experience.
Well, at that company, we were considered behavioral specialists. Some places, they might have a different name for it, like some jobs that might say caregiver.
Right.
But at the job that I had, most of the patients were TBI patients, traumatic brain injury patients. And so I would give them medication 3 times a day. If they needed to go somewhere, I would drive them places.
Right.
I had their IDs and their social security card and their money and everything in a lockbox. So it was safe from them getting to it, but also other people getting to it, because they were it's hard to explain, but they were kind of delusional. They were out. They didn't think correctly.
Yeah.
A couple of them also kind of had tunnel vision, so they couldn't see the peripheral vision, couldn't see down, up. And a lot of them had memory problems, so they had like 30-minute memory.
Oh, wow.
So every 30 minutes, one of them would come out and say, Jeff, can we get pizza for dinner today? Like, no, sorry, we don't have it in the budget. Not today, maybe tomorrow or next week. And he'd go back in his room. He's like, okay, that's fine. That's no problem. And then he'd come back out 30 minutes later. Hey, Jeff, can we get pizza tonight?
Oh, my goodness.
But it was kind of impressive. They remembered my name.
Yeah.
And then I studied abroad in Korea for 1 semester. And when I came back, both those guys actually remembered my name.
Oh, wow.
And the funny thing was, I think it was because I was working with them for so long. Because some of the new staff, they couldn't remember the new staff's name.
Yeah.
And then I came back after being gone for 6 months. And the new staff were like, how do they know your name? They don't know anybody's name, but they know your name.
You're like,
yeah.
I'm just that good. I'm just so good. That reminds me of, have you seen the movie 50 First Dates?
Yep. There was like
Yeah.
10-second Eddie, I think.
Wow.
It was similar.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Tom.
Yeah, and after
Hi.
he gets to the last person, he introduces himself to the first person again.
It's so interesting because we think of people who have disabilities in a certain way. I mean, I don't mean in any negative way, but we think of people who are living with a disability in a certain way. Sometimes we think of it as, maybe it's a hearing impairment or visual impairment or mobility issues. But I guess people don't automatically think about traumatic brain injury recovery patients or people who are recovering from that. In your experience, how did it change or did it change at all your perspective on what a, quote, disability might look like?
It definitely did. For one thing, it made me more aware of how you could have some kind of disability. Because most of the people living in those houses, this company had 30 different houses, and there might have been 2 or 4 people in each house. A couple of them, all they did was fall down the stairs. It wasn't even icy. They just fell down the stairs, hit their head, and now they're living in a group home for the rest of their life.
Wow. And it just shows you that accidents can happen, like life-changing accidents can happen just in a split second, right?
Yeah, like when I ride my electric skateboard, I always wear a helmet.
Yeah.
And if I have a friend try it, even if they're going 5-10 feet, I put the helmet on them. Like, you need to wear a helmet.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I love that. I really love that. It must have been really impacted you, and it must have kind of, from a young age as well, to be a young college student and to be working with people who need that kind of care. That's quite a profound experience for a young man. And how has that affected you? How's that shaped you?
It was a really good experience. I had to deal with a lot of situations that otherwise I probably would have never dealt with.
Yeah.
For one thing, just for example, the two guys that I was taking care of, they would get in a fight with each other once a month. And they didn't allow girls to work at, or girls or smaller guys. There was one woman that worked there that was okay with them. But just they needed somebody that was a little bit bigger to work there.
Yeah.
Because a couple of times I had to physically remove them from each other.
Right.
But then the crazy thing was, 30 minutes later, they wouldn't remember the fight.
They forgot that they'd fallen out.
And they'd be sitting down eating dinner together.
Right.
And one of them would ask me sometimes, like, Jeff, what did he say to me earlier? Why was I mad? I know I was mad, but I can't remember why.
Goodness, that must be so difficult to live in that brain space where you know that you felt the emotion, but you don't know why. Well, that's really commendable. Actually, my father works as a caregiver in Scotland, and he works for a company, and most of these patients, most of these clients, they require 24-hour round-the-clock care. And the gentleman that my dad works with very regularly and often stays over and sleeps over, that's part of his job. He's about 6'4". He is a huge, big, burly man, and probably, I think he's 25 now, but he is still at a mental age of 4. So one of my father's jobs is to kind of make sure that he's not running around the house putting things in his mouth that he shouldn't be putting in his mouth. And it's just a difficult situation to see people who are not capable of living as we have the privilege to live. And so I think fantastic that you got to experience that, and such a special service, I guess, such a special relationship that you had with those guys.
Yeah, I learned a lot from it, and I got a lot out of spending time with them.
Yeah.
And I paid for college working there.
Yeah.
And when I went back to school to get a second degree, then I worked at a different group home. Overall, I've worked at 3 different group homes, or 3 different companies doing similar things.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting meeting all kinds of new people, hearing their background, hearing their stories.
So you can tell that because you went back, you're someone who cares for other people a lot. You really do care for other people a lot. But I think in terms of, leaving that job behind, coming back to Korea, why did you choose to come back to Korea after you had already spent so much time invested in being a behavioral specialist? What was it that brought you back? And specifically, why Busan?
Well, Busan because my friend that wanted to open a bar with me in Korea is from Busan.
Oh, okay.
So when I was in the U.S., he was telling me, Jeff, let's open a bar together. And so I moved back to Korea. First, I moved back to Daegu because I couldn't find a job at first, or at least a job that I liked in Busan. And Daegu's really close. And then after I moved back, he actually got married and decided, I don't want to open a bar anymore. But then, but I really like Korea. I wanted to come back. I was thinking about coming back anyways because I just have so many friends in Korea. It's so easy to make new friends.
Yeah.
And for traveling, you're really close to a lot of other countries to travel to. And there's always just something to do. Things are open 24 hours, basically. And it's a really safe and clean country.
Yeah. Busan's great. Busan is good.
Yeah, the beaches are really nice. Weather's really nice. I actually kind of miss the snow, though, because I do like snow.
I like snow as well. I was looking at old photographs of Busan back in the day when Haeundae beachfront did not have a million hotels on it, and it was just like open space, and there was snow everywhere. Snow absolutely everywhere. Costname texting in, and this is a message for you, Jeff. Costname says, I have so much respect for caregivers. Some of the things I saw when visiting aged care facilities really opened my eyes to the things that they have to deal with. They do not get paid enough.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And I understand what you mean with not getting paid enough with some of the companies. The company I worked for, the pay wasn't that great. But there's different companies. Some of them, the employees work directly for the government because the government actually pays the private companies, and then they have to take money out to make a profit, and then they pay their employees and also have to pay the clients at the houses so they have money to go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
But after going down through them,
it just gets cut and cut and cut and
It
cut, and
does.
you end up with kind of the last little tiny bits.
Mhm.
Have you ever thought about volunteering here?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends volunteers ever so often, and I've been planning on volunteering with her.
Yeah.
Actually, in Seoul, I almost forgot. I did volunteer at a North Korean orphanage up in Seoul.
Wow, okay.
So one of my friends was doing that in Seoul, and then it was around Christmas time, and they wanted more people to go there and help them celebrate Christmas. And that was fun. That was my
Yeah.
first time meeting people from North Korea. And then, actually, sorry, second time. In my university in Wisconsin, I actually had somebody from North Korea there.
Wow.
And it's always fun to talk to people from
Yeah.
there to get their perspective on things.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question. I'm going to change the atmosphere a little bit.
Okay.
Have you ever volunteered and dressed up as Santa Claus?
Actually, at one of the hagwons I've worked at, I have done
I
that.
knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it because it's always like the super kind guys, the guys that are giving everything that gets asked to be Santa Claus.
Also, I was the only foreigner at one of the hagwons I worked at.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so you've also we're gonna speed it up because we're kind of running out of time. You've traveled to a lot of different countries as well. Give us a quick rundown. Where have you been, and where was your favorite place?
Well, I'm from the USA, so obviously USA, Canada, Mexico, Australia, Philippines, Thailand 2 times, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos.
And Korea.
And Korea. Sorry.
You left us for last, Jeff.
Well, we're
Okay.
here. We're in Korea, so I
We're
wasn't
here
thinking
now.
about
Okay, that's true. That's true. So, what was your kind of like? Okay, you don't have to say the best country because everything has its wonderful, unique aspects. But what was something quite remarkable for you that you enjoyed?
Well, I think overall, the thing I enjoyed were the beaches in Thailand and the Philippines. My last big trip I went on in Asia, I flew to Bangkok, and I took a bus to Cambodia. And I went to Angkor Wat and a few other places there, and then a bus to Saigon or Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, and then a bus up to Hanoi in Vietnam.
My
and
gosh, that must have been so sweaty and hot.
it was.
Just thinking about it, oh God, that sounds terrible, but amazing, right?
Yeah, it was an awesome trip, even the good and the bad things.
Yeah.
And then I took a bus to Laos, and that bus back to Bangkok.
Wow.
And I was telling somebody earlier, the good/bad thing that happened in Vietnam was I had my phone and my wallet stolen. But it was a weird situation because a group of 5 little girls ran up to me and they grabbed my phone and my wallet too fast for me to put my hands over my pockets.
Yeah.
But they did it right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then they all ran in different directions. And I was just I was staying there trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And then a motorcycle went by, and they threw the wallet at me. It hit me, fell on the ground, I picked it up. And I was like, oh, okay. They gave me the wallet back. They just took all the money out. My ID and all my cards were still in there.
Oh my goodness.
And then I was still trying to figure out, like, what should I do? Should I just forget about it and go back to the hostel? And then I could actually see the police station from where I was. So I went there to talk to them. I knew they probably couldn't do anything, but I was thinking, it's there. I might as well tell them.
Yeah.
They pretend they didn't speak English for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they told me, like, sorry, we can't help you.
Yeah. That sucks.
But it was a good experience. I didn't get hurt. I didn't lose anything I didn't lose anything I couldn't replace.
Phone's replaceable, right? And isn't that so interesting that they're like, they know that you need to get out of the country. They don't want to cause that much of a problem, but they want the stuff.
Yeah.
They're just drive it past and throw it back at you.
And when I got back to the hostel, a guy from England actually heard the story. And he was leaving to go back to England. And he gave me some extra money that he wasn't going to exchange at the airport. Because I already had a ticket bought for the Ho Chi Minh Trail tour the next day.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I did that tour. You need money for food and water, so here's some money for that.
Oh, that's so sweet. I tell you what, people are awesome. Some people can be terrible, but people are awesome in general. People have lovely hearts.
Of course, yeah.
And so you did the golden triangle, except a hexagonal version of it, right?
Yeah, I could say. Yeah, you could say that.
That's very cool. Very cool. So before we say goodbye, I'm very interested. Now, don't name the names, but you're planning to open a bar
Yes.
in Busan this winter. It's very exciting. Jeff, tell us more.
Okay. Well, I don't know the exact location, but hopefully, when you say names, like people.
Well, you can tell us people's names. That doesn't, as long as they don't mind. But you can't tell us the name of your bar.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been looking at Gwangali and Samyeon to try to figure out where I want to open the bar.
Ooh.
And I live in Gwangali, so it'd be nice to open in there.
Just open in Gwangali, because then you can roll down the hill. Well, it's not really a hill, but you can roll to work, roll home.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends and friends of friends in the area.
Yeah, it's such a popular area as well.
It is.
Oh, that's very exciting. Well, listen, tell us more about it as time goes on. It's
Okay.
going well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it has been going well.
Good.
For the past 2 years, I've been getting to know Busan a lot better, make a lot of friends around here, and I'm excited to open the bar.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big milestone. That's very exciting. Well, I wish you luck with that. Before we say goodbye, do you have any advice for people who, because you've had a very, very interesting life, but there's a lot of people who are maybe scared to try new things, or, you know, like you did that hexagonal bus tour of Southeast Asia. People are hesitant to put themselves out there. So do you have any advice for anyone who might be thinking, I want to do this, but I'm just a bit scared?
I mean, my main advice would be just go out and do it, even if you're by yourself. That 35-day trip I did around the hexagon, it was by myself. It was just kind of a spur of a moment. I actually flew into Bangkok. I didn't know where I was going to go, and I just figured out the trip after that.
Yeah.
But even in Korea, a lot of people stay in one area too much. Some people might stay just in Busan or just in the Gwangali, Haeundae area. But explore, go up to Ulsan, go to Daegu, Gimhae. And then after you do that, go a little bit farther. Try to go, don't always go to Busan, Daegu, and Seoul.
Yeah.
Try to branch out and go to the East Coast or West Coast.
Yeah.
Try to go to Soroksan Mountain or somewhere different.
Explore.
Yeah.
Get your feelers out. Get your fingers in all the pies. I'm not sure that analogy works here, but just do it. Get involved. Jeff, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the studio. Thank you so much. And please do keep in touch with us and chuck us the address of your bar when it opens.
Well, thanks for having me. It was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. And we wish you all the best of luck. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, so I'm going to play a song now. This is a request from Cosname, Square 2017 by Baek Yerin.
All the colors and personalities, you can't see right through what I truly am. You're hurting me without noticing. I'm so broken, like someone just around me. I'm no invincible. I have much memories are getting more weaker. No, I'm not lovable, but you know what you gotta say. Come on, let's go to bed. We're gonna rock the night away. Hold it to your back. If you're not in the right mood to sleep now, then come on, let's drink it high. Bury and manage our day. Would you want me back? If you're not in the right mood to sleep now, then could be miles and gold. I'll be yours for sure. All the traces and reminiscences, you can't sense right through how it truly was. You were gripping me without noticing what's so strange, like someone never loved me. I'm no invincible. I have much memories are getting
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Time for quote unquote. Welcome, Steve.
Hello, guys, again.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah.
It's a Friday, which means you're bringing our quote today. What do you have for this evening's quote?
Today, I have brought a quote from the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Ooh,
written
yes.
by Stephen Covey.
Stephen Covey.
Yeah.
The PH in this instance is a V.
네.
Stephen.
P. Stephen.
Not Stephen.
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 Stephen Covey.
Stephen.
So, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a seminal self-help book that offers a transformative guide to personal and professional effectiveness through timeless principles and habits. Yes, so the quote for today is, anytime we think the problem is out there, that thought is the problem.
맞아요. Because as soon as we think the problem is outside of us, that's the problem.
맞아요.
This is why I always say it's my fault.
Yeah.
Even though I hate it, even though like it bruises my ego every time. Like I will always say, I'm sorry, that's my fault. I'm a business owner. You're a business owner.
Yeah.
You got to always take responsibility.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
then you're in control.
Yeah.
And you can fix it.
So like in this book says that like if we start to think the problem is out there, it means that we empower what's out there to control us.
Exactly.
네. Like as you said.
Nothing can control you, Steve, eh?
Nothing.
Nothing. Hear that, listeners?
Yeah,
Nothing.
so people often find it easy to blame others or external factors when faced with difficult situations. You know, like for example, let's say there are some issues in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
If I keep pointing out only my girlfriend's mistakes, what good does that actually do, you know?
Nothing.
Saying that I have no responsibility and putting all the blame on her is acknowledging myself as a helpless victim. In other words, it's putting oneself in a negative situation and trapping oneself.
Yeah.
Because criticizing and blaming your girlfriend only makes her see herself as a flawed and unchangeable person, leading to a sense of self-defeat.
Yeah, you want to be able to take control of the issues. And also, here's another thing. When you say, I can't do that because of X, Y, Z, that's like so fixed mindset and
Yeah.
you're just tripping yourself up. You're blocking yourself from growth.
That's right.
So the problem isn't the problem. The problem is you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
모든 것은 안에서, like everything.
그렇죠.
Yeah.
맞아요.
So if you truly want a situation to improve, you should focus your efforts on the one thing you can control, you know, which is yourself.
Well, some people can't even control themselves, Steve.
But
you have to.
yeah, you have to. You have to. So stop trying to change your girlfriend to fit your expectations.
Are you talking to yourself here? Stop trying to change your girlfriend to fit your expectations.
You know.
자기 스스로에게 얘기하시는 거예요.
But like everyone's flawed, right?
그렇지.
그래서 저도 안 했다고 할 수가 없어요.
그렇죠.
Yeah,
그렇죠.
I've been in that place once. Yeah, so
I think we all do, and as we get older, we many of us don't, but we tend to learn that this is the way to go. We have to fix our stuff from the inside and take control and that kind of stuff.
I think like the first step is to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to admit. 인정해야 돼요. You know? So 제가 얘기하려고 했던 건 stop trying to change your girlfriend to fit your expectations and work on improving your own shortcomings.
Yeah.
Strive to be a desirable boyfriend who offers unconditional love and support. This way your girlfriend might start to feel the positive influence of your proactive example and responding kind. However, whether your girlfriend responds or not, the most positive way to impact your own situation is to put effort into what you can do. Like as I said, which is yourself.
Which is yourself. You can only change yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But this example is not just romantic relationships, marriage, work-life, friendship. It's all human relationships. So you can put this into practice. It can bring big change, right?
맞습니다.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what's the paradigm for this then?
Paradigm for this?
The change paradigm.
Everything starts from inside.
Yeah.
네. 모든 것은 내면에서 시작된다.
맞아요.
네. 안 된다고 할 수도 있지만, but I want you guys to say, yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I can do it.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, like see everything as a positive things,
I think as well, taking responsibility. I had a staff member who told me one time she was so happy that I had said, that's my fault, even though it was nothing to do with me. And I had said to her, that's my fault. I should have been there to to expect that this situation could happen. And she was like, 감동적이다.
진짜 감동적이네요.
So just take everything.
Yeah.
And then you're in control of everything.
And like if you are running a business, 더더욱 그래야 돼요.
그렇지.
You have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Steve, thank you so much for today's quote unquote. Once again, the quote is from Stephen Covey. Anytime we think the problem is out there, that thought is the problem.
Yep.
Love it. Steve, thank you so much for being with us as always and doing the open sanction, etc., etc. We'll see you same time next week. Yes?
Yes.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, today's show was written by Im Soo-jin. It was hosted by Laura McCluckey, produced by Laura McCluckey today, and many other people. It was also written by...
Steve's right here.
Yeah, written by Steve. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend for the final song, The Darkness. I believe in a thing called love. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Stay dry. Bye-bye.
Touching you. Touching me, touching you, got you touching me. I believe in a thing called love, just as I remember my heart. There's a chance we can make it now. When we look into the sun goes down, I believe in a thing called love. Kiss you every minute, every hour, every day. You got me in a spin, but everything is A-okay. Touching you, touching me, touching you, got you touching me. I believe in a thing called love, just as I remember my heart. There's a chance we can make it now. When we look into the sun goes down, I believe in a thing called love. Get down!
부산을 한 장의 사진에 담는다면 어디로 가야 할까요? 꼬꼬마 시절 이때만큼은 세상을 내려다보며 꿈을 키웠고 용돈을 모아 산 사진기는 아직도 서랍 속에 있습니다. 시간이 흘러 키는 자라고 사진은 어디서든 찍을 수 있는 세상이 되었지만 부산의 진짜 모습을 보기 위해서는 같이 가볼 곳이 있습니다.